Hello everyone, welcome back to this channel. Thank you for clicking on the video. Please hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and hit the bell so that you can receive notifications. In the last video, at the very end, I discussed how I was going to go into a topic of how eating more food can cause health risks. And what I'm mainly talking about here is obesity. In my particular case, because I was playing football, I was used to eating a lot more food, consuming a lot more calories, and because of a sudden drop in football due to medical issues, that idea of still eating a lot more food, it stuck with me for a very long time, and because of that, it made me gain a lot of weight in a lot of time. Obesity is a global scale problem. However, I won't be using any data on a global scale because I feel that's too broad and it doesn't give us something nicer and cleaner to look at. Instead, I'll be looking at obesity data specifically within Texas. And I'll be using the Texas Department of State Health Services to gather that data, and then I will be explaining it. And the reason why is because this report is from April of 2018. It shares information on adult obesity, child obesity, and even economic impacts, and of course the spread of obesity within certain regions of Texas itself. This information is available for the public. It's on, again, the Texas Department of State Health Services website. Anyone can access it. So if you want to look and see exactly what I'm talking about or go into further depths into what information is on here, I implore you to do so and to really understand and to get your own opinion from looking at this data. The source that I'm using has two maps. The first one being adult obesity prevalence by public health region in Texas 2016, and then prevalence of leisure time physical activity or exercise among adults by public health region Texas 2016. So the data from here, it's both from 2016. Now for the first map, the adult obesity prevalence, we can see that they assign different areas. There's 11 areas total. And in area 4 and 5, the obesity is the highest in Texas at 43% for area 4 and then for 41% in area 5. And we can see in areas 9, 8, and 11 that these are also fairly high areas of obesity. The darker purple it is, the higher levels of obesity prevalence or commonness is found, at least with adults. In the second map, prevalence of leisure time, physical activity, or exercise among adults, we can see that in those areas, those specific ones, area 4, 5, 9, 8, and 11, we can see that there's a lot less leisure time in 3 of those regions, 5, 9, and 11. So that explains why there might be higher obesity commonness in those areas. But then area 8 and area 4, they have a lot more and higher amounts of leisure time to do physical activity and fitness. So is there commonality between these maps? Well, it shows that in at least 3 of the areas, the higher obesity rates among adults is common with the lower amount of time for leisure or physical activity or exercise. But context matters, and specifically with 2 terms, obesity and prevalence. And the Texas Department of State Health Services has defined obesity as having a body mass index, BMI, of 30 or more, and prevalence being the percentage of a population that is affected with a particular disease at a given time. Prevalence of obesity in Texas adults has doubled from 1995 to 2010. In 1995, we only had 15.9% of adults having prevalence of obesity, whereas in 2010, it's risen up to 31.7%. There are 2 points that the website uses to give us an idea of the different spread, specifically education and household income. Obesity prevalence among adults in Texas is significantly higher among those with less than a high school degree. For adults who do have a high school degree, 22.9% are obese, whereas with adults who do not have a high school degree, 38.7% of those are obese. And then in household income, obesity prevalence among adults in Texas is significantly higher among those with an annual household income less than $15,000 compared to those with a household income of $50,000 or more. And the percentages for those is 41% for those who earn less than $15,000 per year, and then 26.8% for $50,000 per year or more. Being overweight increases a person's risk of heart disease, stroke, blood pressure, type 2 diabetes, certain cancers, and other serious medical conditions that impact quality of life and have substantial economic consequences for our healthcare system. And the Texas Department of State Health Services has a obesity prevention program, and that works to make healthy choices easier for all Texans, wherever they live, work, and play. They have statewide priorities, they have nutrition plans, they have physical activity plans, worksite wellness, and several pieces of data and resources. And the reason why I'm talking about this is because this particular subject is close to me. I have been affected by obesity for several years now, and other members of my family have dealt with this as well. This isn't just a problem for people in Texas, though. It's a global problem, and better knowing the situation and perhaps even using these resources that Texas has set up, it might make us better in the long run. Well, I'd like to thank you all for listening to this video. I hope you've all enjoyed, and please, again, hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't, and of course, hit the bell so that you can receive notifications, and have a good day.